Jerome, what was the main thing you emphasized with these guys during a 10-day layoff in the middle of the season?
Well, we've just focused on the bookends, transition defense and rebounding, and then buy-in. It's a blessing to be here, right? It's not a right, and just that we need more buy-in. And I felt like we made progress.
I guess there's been some speculation about how Doug handled the last couple days. How's he doing?
Doug is doing fine. I don't know why there's speculation out there about that. I guess Doug's body language probably shows a lot in games, and we were talking to him about it, but he was, for the most part, really good in practice. And, we've had team meetings with guys. We've talked about shot selection, and, I really feel like the guys have, bought into what we want to do moving forward. So, I know I got some text messages and his parents, and stuff. But first of all, if I'm going to dismiss a kid, we're not going to do it through the media. All right, that's not how we're going to handle things. And Doug and I, we have a good relationship. I wouldn't say it's a great relationship, but it's okay because, in the Bible it says that iron sharpens iron. And when two pieces of iron hit each other, there's going to be sparks. And that's all right. That's okay. It's just how can we continue to keep moving forward, and Doug has been great with that.
Obviously, in a perfect world, things are worked out with a chore and you would have him, but not having him, does that kind of open up opportunities for a guy like Buddy or someone like that to come and kind of get some more minutes and start making a bigger contribution for you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, it opens up the opportunity for a lot of guys. Taj, Moby. We got a healthy Moby now who's been able to practice multiple days in a row. And it opens up opportunities. Also, gets people's attention, love a chore and wish him the best. And, one of the things I said is that our staff, one of our goals in recruiting this summer was to have an abundance so that if you lost a player or two, you still had enough to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. And so, it doesn't catch me by surprise. I know that we still have what we need to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
And then what are some of the bigger things that stand out about Drake?
Well, Coach has won 4 national championships, and he brought 4 players with him that played in the national championship game last year, and so they have some continuity. It shows up in them being undefeated and being able to play, win close games, and they've already beaten 2 high major teams this year, and so they're not going to be phased. And they have 5 players on their roster from Kansas City, so I know they're going to be excited to play there. And so, they're a really good team. I just, like I said, I thought the St. John's game and these next 2 are, NCAA tournament teams, and and so we have to go and show that we are a type of team that can make a run to get to the NCAA tournament.
With regards to a chore, was there anything that you and your staff wish you would maybe had done differently at any point in time with that?
No.
Last year, senior, right before you went to LSU, that's where you lost Naquan for good. You came out and played one of your very best games of the season in that setting. Not to, put parallels there perfectly, but what was it about that setting that had you guys really fired up and ready to play that day?
I thought the loss of Quan brought the team, closer together, really focused on what was happening. Cam Carter was going back home to Louisiana, and he played like an unbelievable first half, if you remember there. And there was a lot that went to that. Adversity either splinters teams or pulls together, and that group just pulled together for that, and so that was really good.
Have you seen any of the same things from this group?
Yeah, I see a team that's figuring some things out and come together. Our staff, we're figuring some things out, and It's, you know, you hope that certain guys can do certain things, but after a period of time, you just start saying, well, man, this is what we need, and these guys can provide it, and they may not provide, something else that we need, but if this is where you're lacking in an area, then you gotta shore up that area. And for us, it's rebounding, so I gotta play guys that are gonna go rebound the basketball, and so, that's gonna help us.
Rebounding, is there something you can do to improve it at this point, or is there a point where you kind of say this is who we are? Or
Nah, we're gonna play the guys who will go rebound the basketball. That's what we got some. Now they may not be able to do some things as well on the other end or in different areas, but we have a deficiency in going to rebound the ball, both on the offensive and defensive end, and so I liken it. I've been my brother. He's a professional boxer and he's training us. That's my workout. But over at the gym, the KO boxing gym, over there on what is that, Fort Wright? I don't know. It's one of those.
Yeah,
Right, it loops around. Yeah. So, but the coach was talking to me about throwing punches, right? And he said, it's not over after you throw the punch. You got to get back and protect yourself, otherwise you can get knocked out. And he said, saying, and it's the same thing with, defense, right? It's not over when we contest the shot, right? We got to go get the rebound, otherwise it's gonna, we're gonna get knocked out. And that's what's been happening. We haven't, been throwing the punch, contesting the shot, but we haven't been finishing the play. And so I told that boxing analogy to the team, and hopefully it kind of will sink in, and we'll see some improvement there.
speaking of defense, Drake, I think, is ranked second in scoring defense nationally. What is it specifically that they do so well?
Well, they play complementary basketball, right? Their offense, they have one of the slowest pace in the country. They use about 21 seconds, a little bit more than 21 seconds on offense. And and then they do a really good job of keeping you out the paint, right? They do a great job of covering elbows and blocks and playing with their chests and being in the gaps. And that makes you also have to work a little bit harder. And teams who are impatient on offense, if you play 25 seconds of defense and you play 10 seconds of offense, you'll go through the game and you'll end up playing 10 minutes of offense and 25 minutes of defense, and that's no fun. No kid ever chooses to do that. So, we have to play complementary basketball also. We got to make them play defense for a long period of time and not just bail them out.
I wanted to ask you about the Sturts kid and what he just does so many things well. What do you appreciate about what he brings to the table?
Well, you got a 6'4" point guard, coach's son, really high IQ, doesn't get sped up, athletic too. I think people overlook that, his athleticism and then he just knows. He has a great feel for delivering a pocket pass and then will make tough shots at the end of shot clock. And that's real similar to when Trevor was there with Coach, right? A really good point guard, didn't get sped up, who at the end of shot clock can rise up and make big shots, and that's Coach's MO. So yeah, he fits exactly what Ben's about.
You mentioned their pace offensively, and yet their production is really quite good. What do they do? One or two things. What do they do really well offensively in your mind?
Everybody fills their role on that team, right? Rollers roll and go finish, and shooters shoot, and they don't take shots that don't fit with their roles. And the guys who are ball movers and defenders, and everyone plays their role.
Including the bench, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone on the team plays their role.
Yeah. With the you and I were talking the other night about your defense. First shot defense still continues to be pretty good. Are you still feeling like that today, going into this very important 2-game stretch, that you're good there? Just those other areas are the ones that need the most work with the rebounding and that?
Yeah, I feel like our first shot defense is is good. And I mean, we obviously could contain the ball a little bit better, which will cut down on rotations and then allow us to keep a body on a body rebounding wise. But you know, sometimes it's just a matter of winning a one-on-one battle. You know, it's a 2-second fight when the ball's in the air, and we got to have guys who can go win that one-on-one battle.
Now you're almost 10 games in. Is David Castillo kind of where you were hoping he would be about this point in the season, or where does he need to take the next step?
David just needs playing time, and that's my responsibility.
With Big 12 play on the horizon, still a couple of really good teams in front of you. How do you not overlook those two teams, especially before we head into obviously a really tough conference slate, just with how talented and how well these teams have played thus far in the season with Drake and Wichita State?
Yeah, we're not in a position to overlook anybody, you know, and we're still trying to get better and still trying to figure some things out. So yeah, there won't be any overlooking at all. And you know, our big thing is always just going 1-0 and winning that day and not looking ahead. And so for us, you know, last few days have been about us getting better and then now preparing for Drake. And they're the most important game on the schedule.
Any other questions for Coach? Oh, go ahead. Oh.
I'll close it. What's that feeling you get when you guys walk into T-Mobile Center and see all the purple and K-State Nation out there?
Yeah, you know, this is going to be well, these individual games, right? Normally when we play neutral site games, I tell you, the first time we played, and I think we played Nebraska, and I remember the staff coming back and saying, Coach, it's crazy out there. And I was like, y'all tripping, you know. And then I walked out, and there was, you know, 13, 15, however many it was, and that was crazy. And then last year, you know, the Wichita State game, I mean, there was 18,000. They had the curtains pulled back up top. And, you know, to see our fans just support us the way they do, man, it's just a Big 12 tournament, you know, being able to have a home court advantage, you know. And, I mean, I know it paid dividends last year in our game against Texas. So our fans were with us, man, you know, and as they are today, right? Like, you know, it's crazy. I see, you hear comments or you see things about, you know, you hear, you know, don't give up on the team and all that kind of stuff. And I start thinking, well, everything I know about K-State fans is that K-State in general, we're not quitters. We don't give up. We don't stop short. Our farmers, when it doesn't rain, doesn't give up on the crops, right? Like our students, they don't give up. Like we're fighters. That's what we do, and that's what this staff is going to do. That's what this team is going to do, you know. And so I'm excited for our game, you know, tomorrow in Kansas City, and having our fans there and show up and, you know, get our guys a chance to get a taste of T-Mobile. And, you know, I'm excited about the opportunity to have an undefeated Drake team coming in. You know, I mean, that is exciting for me. And I know that we've been working hard and like there's no quit in us, just like there's no quit in K-State Nation and our fan base.